making a mistake. Corey is CIA, yes. He didn't even have the opportunity to say it. I am aware of that. Who is the CIA? In addition to being present, Corey Gamble was also quite close to Kim Porter. After 911 was called, he was present when the coroners arrived at Kim Porter's residence. Am I crazy? That is absolutely Corey Gamble. Not suddenly, the one directly behind him. The world of the Kardashians is going crazy. Corey Gamble and Kris Jenner are divorcing. Kanye is asserting once more that Corey is a CIA agent. Furthermore, Kris and Kim were drawn into Diddy's legal troubles. According to rumors, Corey may be prepared to leave Kris, and she's terrified because a lot more skeletons might surface if he speaks. Kanye is now adding gasoline to the flames by claiming that Kim and Kris engaged in some very severe unlawful activity with Diddy. Naturally, Diddy and Corey have always been great pals. So yes, the receipts are crazy and the rabbit hole is deep. Let's get right to the point. Get this. Kanye shared a photo of Kris Jenner's longtime boyfriend, Corey Gamble. God has a plan to remove the godless, the caption says. I think Corey is a good guy, and he shouldn't have been here in the first place. After a public confrontation during Beyoncé's Cowboy Carter show in Vegas, Kris Jenner and her boy toy, Corey Gamble, are currently going through a serious dilemma. According to the sources, Khloe had to intervene to attempt to calm Corey down after Kris physically stormed off during the program. According to an eyewitness who spoke to Page 6, Kris and Corey appeared visibly strained, with Khloe attempting to reassure the irritated Corey. Furthermore, Kris and Corey have already exploded in public. Kris left Corey behind to go alone in a water taxi for Jeff Bezos' wedding in Venice back in June. According to accounts, he uttered something about always following Kris's wishes while completely ignoring it. According to an insider who spoke to Radar Online at the time, Corey is tired of being treated like a glorified assistant who was brought in to carry out Kris's orders and resolve difficult situations, something that appeared to happen every day with Kris. Finish the quote. Here's the problem, though. Corey Gamble is more than just a background boyfriend. Kris may have believed she could manage the business alongside him, but that may have been her worst mistake to yet. See, it's said that this man has strong connections. I'm referring to certain extremely powerful individuals and relationships at the intelligence level. Although he has been Kris's boyfriend for ages, has anyone ever actually inquired about his origins? He was simply there one day. Additionally, no one is aware of his past prior to Kris. After everything with her ex-husbands, Kris isn't exactly the kind to choose a nobody, let's face it. This is when things get wild. Corey has crazy connections. He is literally close to everyone in the industry, including Prince Harry, Meghan Markle, Diddy, Jay-Z, and Ellen DeGeneres. Another video that has gone viral shows Corey and Jay-Z practically carrying Beyoncé to her car following a pre-Grammy celebration. To put it mildly, Beyoncé did not appear to be quite sober at the time. Therefore, why is the boyfriend of Kris Jenner acting like Beyoncé's personal bodyguard out here? Everything about it seems strange. As if that weren't weird enough, Corey has been seen getting on Jay-Z and Beyoncé's private jet on several occasions. Like, why does this guy hang around with the industry's most influential people everywhere? Corey may be one of those Hollywood handles or fixers, according to a lot of rumors that have been going around lately. The problem is, though, why Corey would even have to do that. Kris Jenner is accompanying him. Clearly, he is not broke. What's the point then? Insiders claim that the handler position is much more complex than most people realize. This goes well beyond celebrity babysitting because these handlers are allegedly affiliated with spy services. We've seen this before, you see. Do you recall Harley Pasnak, Kanye's former trainer? Yay, he would institutionalize him and send him back to Zombieland after threatening. Investigations on his past revealed connections to Canadian intelligence. In one interview, Harley acknowledged that he was employed in a military laboratory, where he conducted research on chemicals that the general public would never be able to obtain. And the topic of my attention was the impact of food and medications on muscle function. And when you mention drugs, do you mean performance-enhancing drugs, or do you mean all types of drugs? Correct. All right. Because I was employed by the military, I was not subject to the same laws as the general public. I could therefore examine the effects of several medications that are not commonplace. Speaking of Kanye, he has been criticizing this for years. He has publicly attacked Harley, claiming that he is just one of several handlers in Hollywood who work behind the scenes and have come afoul of the law. When Kanye stated that he was concerned about the handlers around his family, it was clear that he was referring about Corey. What sort of persons do you believe are around my children if Harley was an intelligence member? What sort of individuals do you believe are now residing in that house? Not to mention that Kanye has made it quite apparent that he does not want Corey near his children, back when he fled to his ranch in Wyoming in the summer of 2020. On social media, Ye went on the attack, accusing Kris and Kim of attempting to place him under a 5150 mental detention. He subsequently made it known that Kris and Corey were not permitted around his kids. In a subsequent post, Kanye referred to Corey as godless, asserted that he was CIA, and said that he was sent in to infiltrate the K. Jenner family. Additionally, Kanye wrote, "He deeply connected my wife with the liberals. That was his responsibility. I always had the impression that he was employed by DuPont or another company in that lineage, for whatever reason. Now he's off to his next mission," Ye said, dismissing Corey. His work is finished. That's not all, though. A video of Kanye saying to someone on the phone in 2023 that Corey is unquestionably CIA was leaked. CIA. Corey's CIA indeed. He didn't even need to say anything, really. I am aware of that. The CIA, you. But when you start looking into Corey's relationship with Diddy, the rabbit hole gets even deeper. You see, Corey was one of Diddy's primary fixers before he even connected with Kris. And here's the thing. Hours after Kim Porter passed away, he was pictured at her home before the forensics team arrived. For example, why was Kris? How quickly did Jenner's boyfriend arrive at that scene? That isn't typical. How did I only now learn that Corey Gamble was there, and that he was also very close to Kim Porter? After 911 was called, he was present when the coroners arrived at Kim Porter's residence. Am I crazy? That is absolutely Corey Gamble, not suddenly. The one directly behind him. As if I had no theory at all. I simply don't understand. We will discuss this in more detail, but when Kim Porter died, there were clearly differences between the coroner's and police accounts. We also know for a certainty that P. Diddy had video cameras and other audio listening devices installed throughout the entire house. Was her death captured on film? Does Diddy have video of Kim Porter's death? I simply don't understand. How come this man is just known as Kris's boyfriend despite being everywhere and having contacts with everyone? Kim Porter's family told a different story, but the official cause of death was pneumonia. Doctors stated she had been experiencing flu-like symptoms for weeks. According to them, Kim was completely active and even received a massage on the day she passed away. Then, it becomes eerie. Kim is accused of sending her friends a group text that evening that read, quote, "He got me." Finish the quote, immediately after going to bed. Then she did make a 911 call. Additionally, remember that Diddy did not grant Kim her freedom just because they were no longer together. Not at all. He actually maintained a firm hold on her life, had people pursuing her, and was essentially watching her every step of the way. Mark Curry, a former member of the Bad Boy, allegedly even said that Diddy wiretapped Kim's phones in order to always know exactly what she was doing. It was all insecurities, you know. A man is insane if he goes out of his way to wiretap someone's phone or install taps in their residences in order to listen in on their conversations. Therefore, when you witness someone doing that, you can't comprehend what else they might commit. What would he do, in your opinion, if he caught her on the phone with someone and suspected that she was cheating on him or that someone was having an affair with his girlfriend? What do you suppose he will say? "Oh, I saw you. I heard this. Oh." He's going to enter now, and you can be sure that there will be a fight. You already know that Diddy must have been aware of Kim Porter's memoir writing if the rumors that she was working on it before her death are accurate. Furthermore, he would never have allowed that book to be published if he had known. This is where Corey re-enters the picture. According to several sources, Corey was seen leaving Kim's home with a laptop on the day of her passing before the forensics team even showed up. And there are just too many issues raised by that aspect alone. How did I only now learn that Corey Gamble was there? And that he was also very close to Kim Porter. After 911 was called, he was present when the coroners arrived at Kim Porter's residence. Am I crazy? It's Corey Gamble, 100%. The one directly behind him wasn't unexpected. I mean, I have no hypothesis at all. I simply don't understand. We will discuss this in more detail, but when Kim Porter died, there were clearly differences between the coroner's and police accounts. We also know for a certainty that P. Diddy had video cameras and audio listening devices installed throughout the entire house. Was her death captured on film? Does Diddy have video of Kim Porter's death? I simply don't understand. How come this man is just known as Chrysler's boyfriend despite being everywhere and having contacts with everyone? Therefore, it's not just dubious. It might be a felony if Corey actually took anything from Kim Porter's home that could aid or hinder a criminal investigation. It's actually getting in the way of law enforcement. Why hasn't anyone asked Corey about this then? What brought him to Kim's house in the first place before the coroner arrived? Corey's untouchability would be explained if Kanye is correct. And he does indeed have intelligence connections. This leads us to the actual problem. What exactly did Corey do for the Kardashians? He entered the circle, but why? Does Kris have enough dirt to blow everything up in his face if the breakup doesn't work out now that things may be going apart? Not to mention that Kris and all of her girls were frequent attendees at Diddy's events and had a close relationship with him. We worked with Justin Bieber on a photo session in the Bahamas. What is Justin's age? 16. Oh, Justin remarked during the photo shoot, I have a nickname for you. And I thought, what? His words are cougar. Is he in love with you? I don't know. Is he the object of your crush? Yes. Do you have feelings for him, Kim? If only he were 18. Hold on. You are aware that there is a lot of information about you being a cougar online. How am I a cougar? You haven't even reached 30. You're a cougar. No, I am. Where are you heading? I'm going to go see Diddy, I guess. That's what he's doing. This afternoon, Rick Ross is performing in a small concert. No. Music. This is when things become even more gloomy. Kanye recently claimed that Kim was implicated in the same types of crimes that put Diddy in jail. After learning that North was included on a song with UK musician FKA Twigs, Ye lost it on Kim. He also authored this. An ex-tracker is Kim Kardashian. The fact that Twigs dressed up my daughter in her video bothers me. Twigs could have done, better, in my opinion. You are all ninjas. I have a black soul. And you guys just think I'm insane and don't believe me. Look, I understand now. We must constantly be skeptical of Kanye's statements. However, it is impossible to overlook all of these strange connections, particularly in relation to Corey and his position inside the K-Jenner empire. So, I'm curious about your thoughts. In reality, who is Corey Gamble? Is he simply the longtime boyfriend of Kris Jenner? Or is he a handler in Hollywood? A CIA asset, perhaps? And why, in your opinion, did he initially become engaged with Kris? Leave a comment below with